What is up, y'all? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review. Yes, the fan above the stove is on. I have no idea why it's on. Am I going to get up to shut it off? The Last of Us episode 2. You know it's bad when you consciously realize that you're zoning out watching something. When it's just, degenerated into background noise. When you start getting on your phone paying online bills, when you start looking over at your Blu-ray collection, you're like, what should I watch tonight? But you're already watching something. And I'm gonna tell you the big problem is this. It's the girl. In the video game, Joel, it starts off with his backstory. It gives you reason to have sympathy for him, to root for him, to relate to him. With her, and I know they're going by the game, but even in the game with no backstory for this girl, you didn't dislike the girl in the video game. In this, there's nothing likable about this actress and the way she's portraying this. Nothing. And I already know what it is. Go back and watch the making of the Phantom Menace. Look at the last two kids that were down for the role of Anakin Skywalker. It was Jake Lloyd, which everybody can agree was not the right choice. Look at the other kid and imagine how much better the movie would be. Look at his screen test in that making of documentary. Look at when they show the headshots, pause, side by side, and that other kid looks like a young Mark Hamill. And you're just like, watching it, you're just like, why didn't they pick him? That's so obvious. But, if you know anything about Hollywood, you know that there's a lot more to the game than just talent. There's politics, the right agent, the right agency, weirdo stuff going on with producers with these kids, stuff you don't want to say out loud. It could be a number of things or all of those things or one of those things. But like I said, talent usually comes last. So when I see this girl on here and I look at her terrible performance, like I said before, I don't care about the whole gimmick of her in Game of Thrones being a young girl cussing people out. Wow, that's great. Cool. Woo! That doesn't translate to being able to carry this role, and it doesn't. I can't be the only one that thinks this. I can't be the only one that's being bored to death, and every single time she has a scene, I'm like rolling my eyes like, come on, man. She's just terrible. There's just nothing likable about her. Like I said, in the video game, if there was something that made you at least tolerate the girl until later on in the game when, you saw the character progression. You saw her and Joel bonding. You controlling Joel, you're saving her, so you're building kind of a bond there. Only gamers know what I'm talking about. But in this, the next episode, I want it to go 5 minutes. I want her head to get ripped off. I want the credits to roll. That's it. It's just, and didn't we already go in her dialogue and the way it's written and the way that she's delivering it? Didn't we already put up with this with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show with Princess Leia? Do we have to go through this again? Do we have to go through another kid acting like they're 47 years old, been working on the docks, smoking, 2 packs of unfiltered a day, has, a mortgage to pay? No, it's a little girl. I know it's in some apocalyptic future with mushroom heads. Wow. Still, there's always going to be certain kid-like things to kids. The way they talk, the way they act. They've only been on Earth, a decade, 12 years, whatever. Act like it. You know what I'm saying? Also, the design for the mushroom head people, I just don't. In the video game, it was different because you had atmosphere. You're trying to control somebody tiptoeing by, all that. So I don't think this translates good to just watching it, to just being a spectator. The way they do it, it's just losing something. And to me, it wasn't scary. I'm not scared over video games, but I think the scariest thing or the biggest threat in the games was other human beings and the way they act, similar to like The Road or what's that movie with Casey Affleck? Love of My Life. Great movie. Check that out. If you like The Road, you like Book of Eli, watch Light of My Life. Is it Light of My? Yeah, Light of My Life. Light of My Life. Love of My Life. Light of My Life. Light of My Life. I did a review of it a long time ago. I really, really dug it. I want to see it again, but it's one of those movies where you got to wait like 2-3 years before you watch it again. But you know what I'm saying? In those movies, the most dangerous thing is other humans and the inhuman things that they do, and that to me is the attraction. These mushroom head people, I just, you know, like when you hear their clicking noises and stuff, however you want to describe their noises that they make, it's totally different when you're in a video game and you're trying to do a stealth level and get by, and you hear and you trip on something and you hear it's just a whole different thing than watching it. Last of Us episode 2. I just 0 to 10 dog bones. Let's see. Also, terrible CGI. Terrible. And what kind of building, what kind of skyscraper not only falls over like that, you know, tips over like a chair, but hits another skyscraper and just stays there? Where do they teach engineering like that? Like, what? But the CGI on those buildings and everything in the background, I'm not gonna describe this stuff. You've already seen this show. You've already watched the episode. This review's a day late. Who cares? What, 2 or 3 people care? Who care? You don't watch it for, you know, professionalism or timely reviews or actually coherent reviews, right? But yeah, everything in the background in that city just looked like the worst CGI ever. It was terrible. But that building leaning up against the other building, just stop. Just somebody at HBO, right? Go to wherever they have I know things aren't ran like a movie, like Mission Impossible, but let's just pretend that there's a master computer. Somebody at HBO, just spare us. Go to that master computer, spill a coffee over the top of it, and just destroy it, and just ruin all the rest of the episodes for us. For God's sake, just, you know, hopefully it erases them, and we won't be, and we can just, you know, finish the rest of the season in our heads, you know, or just go back and just replay the game and be like, well, that's, you know, how it ended. Also, the terrible thing is you're going to get that stupid DLC that they put for the first game, and you're going to get the second game, which I refuse to buy because anything I saw that I was just like, ugh. So you know that's where they're going to go with it. So if you're like me and you think this show is bad right now, imagine when they get to The Last of Us Part 2. Just imagine. Right? Did I already do the rating? 0 to 10 dog bones? 0 to 10 dog bones. 2? 2. 2 because I'm a sucker for any post-apocalyptic stuff no matter how bad it is. So I'm just gonna, you know, at least they tried. And also, the other reason I'm really not liking this is because you're just constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're waiting for something woke to be shoehorned up in there. And I really didn't see it in this episode, but again, I could barely pay attention to it. So it probably happened, but maybe I'm just, like, don't want to see it so much that it's like when your brain just forcibly makes you not remember your uncle taking you swimming that one time, you know? It's your brain is protecting you. Can we get like a Max Payne show? Like when Netflix did that Raw Punisher show? Can we get something like that? I'm with that. This garbage? No. What? No.